Welcome to Ultimate General Civil War on Legendary difficulty using the UI mod. And this is Brandy Station, which is a fun little battle. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to show you how to win this battle easily, even though you're outnumbered more than 2 to 1. And the short answer is dismount your cav. Really, these are rifle cav, and rifle cav do over twice as much damage dismounted than if they're mounted, and they take a fraction of the casualties dismounted, especially if they're in a fortification or in the woods. So get these guys dismounted. They will take much lighter losses. You'll significantly reduce their losses. Mounted cav takes horrible casualties if they're hit. Rifle cav if they're mounted. So you do not want to fight with these guys mounted. So what I'm going to show you is this battle's about 3 hours long. It's about 2 hours and 33 minutes at this point. We can easily hold this. I've moved the artillery around a little bit. We can easily hold this position. I mean, easily hold this position for 2 hours and 30 minutes. But I'm going to not only hold the position, my goal is to wipe the enemy out. So the enemy has almost 16,000 men, and I have about 7. So we're going to get hit for a while. And he has some incredible, I mean, look at the red bar compared to the blue bar. Also, he has a ton of artillery. I forget how many guns he has. It's a ridiculous number. Quite frankly, you've just got to stand and take it for 3 hours. That's all you can do. And my goal is to just give these are all 6-pounders. I mean, I have 6-pounders for my artillery. I have the worst cav weapons you can possibly have, but they're good enough. It's just they don't do a whole lot of damage. Like, that guy just fired, 500 men just fired, and we did 20 damage. So we have to fire a lot of times. These 6-pounders are terrible, and at the range that I'm firing right now, they're not going to do very much. But they will decrease the enemy's morale. And I don't want his infantry to charge. I don't want to get into melee with his infantry. And your artillery can convince his infantry, his 3-star infantry, to not charge into melee. So it's good at that. So I want to constantly hit him, even if I can't do that much damage. So once his units get within exploding shell range, that's that mid-range, we do a bit more damage, not a whole bunch, but it's better than doing like nothing at long range. 6-pounders at long range do like 1 or 2 casualties at long range. I mean, it's just really terrible. Now, the good news is we have plenty of ammo. We will finish this with plenty of ammo. There's plenty of ammo in the ammo depot. There's an ammo supply point right there. One of the things you want to do is make sure you put these artillery on hold so they don't, because they'll spin around in circles. I mean, they'll spin around like tops and exhaust themselves. You want them to face the direction you want them to face. Like this guy, I'm having trouble getting him to face the direction I want him to. So I either have to give him orders continuously to face the direction I want him to, because he's going to want to face north because there are enemies closer to him. But I have 2 batteries up there that are firing to the north, and then one of them is going to pitch into the south for a while, and then I'll have 3 units that will go to the north eventually. You know, I have a plan, and it's not up to the artillery units to, you know, flip around to fire at whoever is closer. So you have to manage the artillery. The other thing is put your dismounted cav on hold too, because they'll bounce all over the place. If you want them to stay in a certain place, then have them get into cover, hunker down, of course dismounted, and then place them on hold so they just stay where you want them to stay. And that's really important. So there are 2 positions that provide the best cover and the best melee bonus, and those go to my infantry, and you can see where they are. There's 1 to the north, 1 to the south. The infantry I have are 3-star, and they have Fayettevilles. So these guys are really good. And yeah, but I want to hold them back. I want my cav to take the losses and I want the infantry to be used later, as you will see. So, yeah, if those Fayettevilles can get a shot on someone, then happy day. But basically, I just want them to stay in the best possible cover and take few losses, deal a lot of damage, and wait. That's basically the plan. Buy time for my artillery to chip away at the enemy, and have my cav just take as many shots as we can possibly take. Just, they've got to take 1,000,000 shots. Good news is they reload very fast. So, yeah, they're going to fire, do very little damage, but that doesn't matter because it's not that firing one time does little damage, it's firing 50 times will actually do some damage. Also, when these guys get into melee, these fortifications are very good, and I'm not bashful about firing into the melee to chip the enemy down. And my goal is to degrade this infantry, of course, but to wipe out his skirmisher units. They're a real nuisance. To kill his skirmisher units as quickly as I can and then start chipping away at his cav while hitting his infantry enough that they don't want to get into melee, if that makes sense. But we're just chipping people down. Now you'll notice I'm ignoring his artillery. His artillery is standing off, and it turns out, I mean, if these were 10-pounders, I would just be, counting down the next 2 hours and then get out of here, because it would be brutal. But it turns out he has, it's not all 10-pounders. In fact, I think he has a lot of 12 howitzers, which are really terrible at this range. So he's not doing a whole lot of damage. Also, my guys are in fortifications. And again, dismounted cav does not take a lot of losses when it's dismounted. So if I were to mount these guys up and I were to take these same hits, my losses would be 2 or 3 times what I'm taking. So let's see, that guy was 614, he took a volley, and he lost nobody. Like, I'm just looking at the one guy who just got hit. He took no losses. He was in a fort, he got fired on, nothing happened. So, yeah, I have turned the fortifications on for my infantry. That only affects my infantry, which you can do with the mod. That's good, but it looks like they're not firing volley fire, they're still firing individual fire. So, I don't know, maybe it's not activated, maybe it is, I don't know. Okay, he has a unit that got into melee, 700 versus 400. He won that, but he also routed. So now I need to, I think that's the only unit that routes in the entire battle. And I don't lose any units either. So we're going to swap out. I have 2 units, one of 600, one of 500 is now going to go into that position, and we're going to be fine. So I have 1 unit facing to the left, because there are 2 enemy cav units there, but I have plenty of dismounted cav over there to deal with them. I now have 1, 2 facing south, and 1 facing north, because he's not really pushing hard from the north. And that 1 will fire into the infantry, and I just want him to chip away at that guy and keep his morale low enough that he doesn't attack. And then when his skirmishers come forward, shift fire to the skirmishers, and we'll exchange shots with my infantry in the prepared positions, or my dismounted cav, and eventually kill those guys. Now he has, I think, 3 artillery behind that I can't see, but I have a plan. But first, we have to inflict some losses on this guy. Look, his infantry, his 3-star infantry, even retreated. He took enough exploding shells, and my cav fired into him, and my infantry hurt him, and yeah. So he retreated. That's good. He's down to 2,400. We just have to do that. I think he started almost at 3,000. So we need to do that a few more times. Okay, I can see two of his artillery. He has more than that up there. At least two more batteries to the north. And to the south, he has one, two, three that I see, but I think he has two more down there, one or two more. I mean, he has a lot of artillery here. Yeah, if at all possible, you want to get the 6-pounders into exploding shell range to do some damage. Yep, and see, I have this stinking artillery that wants to spin around, and all it does when it does that is it just gets exhausted. It just wears itself completely out. Just burns condition. It is incredibly stupid. So you have to put these guys on hold. Okay, this guy's coming in. I have a chance to get a shot on him, and I have plenty of time to turn around then and fire at the infantry that's now under 2,400 in the south. So I just got to get these artillery to stop being a nuisance. Yeah, condition is down to 60% because of all that stupid spinning around. Okay, this guy, there's an opportunity here. He's caught between a couple of my units. If I focus on him, we can really do him some damage. But he comes in with another cav unit. And I was hoping we'd be able to really do some damage to that guy. Yeah, your dismounted cav will want to back up. You have to tell your dismounted cav if you want them to shoot and then reload and shoot again. You have to tell them to go forward. And you're going to see that when I counterattack that I will constantly tell these guys to go forward in a real controlled way so that they don't fire and then retreat. When you want them to attack, you have to tell them to keep moving forward. Do not fall back. So there I told him to hold, but then when I targeted the unit, I saw that he wasn't within range, so now I've had him move up to within range. And he's not blocking my infantry, so my infantry and artillery and my cav fire on him, and it's all good. He's now down to 2,100, and he was at 2,400, so yeah, we chipped away. That's what you do. You're just chipping away at these guys. His skirmishers are now down to about 200. We should be able to kill them very soon. So this is how you win this battle. You just chip away, chip away, chip away. Stay in, stay dismounted, stay in the fortifications. Try to buy time for your artillery to do as much damage as possible. Keep them in exploding shell range, and it's all good. Yeah, I brought Stewart over to the guy who routed, and I can see now that his force is down to 9,000. So he started at about 16,000. Is that right? He's all the way down to 9 already? Oh, that guy's down to 3. I'm thinking I can kill this guy. Oh, he wants to get into melee with my infantry? That's going to go only one way. He's gone. That was perfect. Okay, those guys are doing just fine. Yeah, you want to keep Stewart moving around too. You want to keep everybody's morale up. If anybody routs, you want to get them back into the battle. The blue and red bar is not as lopsided as it was previously. It's looking a little better. Yeah, I have my artillery in the center. It's absolutely perfect, and I have him on hold, so he'll fire to the south. The infantry, of course, has recovered. This is legendary, after all. And that's not a bad thing. If he's going to walk right up in the open and take a bunch of shots, we can do that. I decided to get the guy that's, he's taken a lot of artillery, and also he's been fired at, so he was down to 380, so get the guy off the front line who was down to 380. Yeah, these kills are not looking bad. We're going to come out of this with about 6.5 to 1. Yeah, he's down to 9,000. Yeah, I'm looking at that guy. Oh man, 150. Couple more times, and we can kill him. And that's what we want. We want to shatter those skirmisher units before we counterattack. Yeah, that guy, look at his numbers fall. I mean, we don't do a lot of damage because we have the worst weapons possible for our cav. But it's enough. Oh, that guy's 170. I want to kill him. Really want to kill that guy. 170. And he's firing like that exhausted firing that units do. So he's gone, shattered. One down. His 2 cav units have some size, but that's okay. We'll chip away at those guys. Yeah, notice he's not being as aggressive. 268. Hopefully we'll get some shots on this guy. Down to 250. Yeah, we'll just wait on him to come back. This guy on the right in the north is 136. Come on, shatter. Yes. This is exactly what we want to do. Yeah, his cav is fighting well. His cav has really good range on me. He can do this. He can come up, fire at max range. I don't know what weapons he has, but they're better than mine. And yeah, he can just run up, take a shot, and fall back and get away with it. I have to punish him with my artillery. And he still has like 3 or 4 cav units on my right flank on the south. I would like to kill this guy who's only 215. It's about time for that guy to die. Yeah, I'd like to take a shot at that guy. That guy I can take out. Okay, the guy in the south, he's down to 200. He's going to shatter soon. About one more time and he's dead. Okay, the skirmisher unit went off to the flank. There's no artillery over there, so I'm just going to send my cav unit to go find him. I have 500 men. He has 200. I should be able to kill him. We have 40 minutes until we win the battle, but I'm just going to let my artillery grind up some kills. Yeah, there he is. Okay, he got a flank shot on me, but now here's the thing. I'm not going to tell this guy to charge, which I don't even know if I can. With melee with rifle cav, you just want to keep them on top of the guy you want to kill. And I'd really like to have 2 units over here. Then this would be over very quickly. But I have plenty of condition, plenty of ammo. We should kill this guy. Yeah, kills are going up much faster than losses. Should happen. And he's gone. Okay. Now I'm thinking, what do I do with this guy? Do I bring him back and refill him? And he has good morale and he has good condition. But I think maybe I'll come back and pick up some ammo, and then I'll be ready to launch my attack with him. And we're going to attack the north first. And the reason is we have killed all of his cav in the north and all of his skirmisher units. All of his cav and skirmishers are now in the south. So I'm moving 3 artillery to the north to weaken his infantry unit for a while. Then I'm bringing 1 artillery unit to the south to start chipping away at this guy who's, what is he? He's down to 2,000. So we want to chip away at the guy who's 2,000 and just degrade him a little bit. So I moved an artillery forward to get an artillery with an exploding shell range. But really, all the action is going to take place in the north for a while. So all I have to do is actually count down 19 minutes and we win the battle. But at about that time, I mean, you can see I'm chipping away the guy at the north with 3 batteries, and that's going really well. I brought my cav back, and yeah, the 2 cav units have kind of recharged morale, condition, picked up some supply, and I'm sending them off. And in about 15 minutes, I want to get them behind the enemy. They should be in position. The battle will be won, but I'm going to get them in position to begin my counterattack. I mean, we have till, I think it's 13:30. You can look it up on Steam. I think it's 13:30. So we have tons of time. Absolutely tons of time. Yep, my artillery unit, you can see his numbers falling in his infantry unit. That's good. The more we degrade him, the better. And he's down to 8,000, 7,900. Okay, his cav is attacking. Good. I see 4. Yeah, and I'm going to have to bring some artillery to support my flank because he has 5 cav units and a bunch of artillery. So yeah, one of my cav units in the fortification there's under 300, so we've got to replace him. But we're still in really good shape. We can do that. 2 dismounted cav and my infantry should be able to hold this because his cav, as long as it comes up, shoots, and falls back, will be okay. All we're trying to do right now is buy a little time. Okay, the guys in the north are in place. We get the finish button. We could hit the finish button and walk out of this, but now begins the counterattack. Yeah, I hope he attacks my infantry. Those Fayettevilles do some damage. Okay, now here I'm mounted. He's facing the wrong way, so I should be able to. Yeah, he's routing. Yeah, I'm focusing on the south. That's what they do. They fire and then they want to run away. Nope. You have to tell them keep going forward. When you get 2 units on top of 1, we'll kill this guy very quickly. 2 units on 1. But I even if I had the capacity to charge, which I don't even think I do, I don't want to do it. It burns up too much condition. We have a lot of fighting to do up here, and if your cav gets exhausted, it has to rest for a very long time. I don't want to do that. We can kill him by just getting 2 on 1 and then getting out of there. Yeah, he's down to 200. He's going to die. About 1 more blast, he's dead. And he's sending one of his cav units to the north, which is actually a pretty good idea, to reinforce his north flank, because his north flank is in serious trouble. Not a bad idea. Okay, this guy's coming in. He's going to get hit by my infantry. That's going to be nice. So yeah, I want to get my cav behind him. Yeah, he took a hit from my infantry and he's down to 360. Yep, we're just chipping away. Okay, I'm checking out the condition, about 70. Yeah, one of my artillery units is completely exhausted. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna let these guys get some condition and some morale back because I want to kill his artillery that's in the woods, and I know that there are at least 2 artillery there. I saw them at some point. They became visible, I think, in the melee and then went invisible. And his cav is there now too, so we want to deal with his cav. Yeah, I see one of them. I know the other one is to the left. Now I've dismounted my cav, so they're in the woods. If they get shot, it won't do a whole bunch of damage. If they were mounted, it would do a lot of damage and maybe rout them. So take a cheap shot on his cav, didn't do a whole bunch of damage. And now we're going to concentrate, hopefully got him to run away. Now we're going to concentrate on his artillery. Want to stay in the woods in case I get hit. Once his artillery is taken out, notice that his infantry unit will be completely surrounded. One artillery is already routing, or it's white. We've got to get the other one to rout as quickly as possible before he can fire into my cav. Yeah, notice he wants to fall back, so I need to make him not fall back. Tell them to keep going forward and put them on hold. Make them stay as close as possible to the enemy and fire without getting into melee. Yeah, here comes his cav back. That guy keeps wandering around. So we need to make sure that we're in cover. Hopefully catch him in the water, that would be nice. No, my unit fell back too far. Both of his units are routing. I send over another cav unit. Hopefully we can kill his artillery. Maybe even if we can get his cav to stay in that water, that would be nice. I don't know if we can do that, but now I have Hampton behind him, and that's going really, really well. He has a cav unit coming in that's only 200 in the south. We should be able to kill him. His infantry is down to 2,000. Yeah, we want to get that. We want to get that artillery out of this game to the north. Then we can focus on that infantry unit. So I'm bringing my infantry over. Yeah, his infantry has been getting hit the whole time. So notice how just tiny little individual shots, he's completely exhausted. This is not going to last long. So I'm just kind of waiting until I can kill his 2 artillery units, or drive them off. Now he turns around, he decides, like, his morale has got to be 0. So I fire one volley from my dismounted cav and he routes. Well, or retreats. So now I'm going to get to the south, bring up my next dismounted cav and that just awesome infantry unit that's been pretty much just chilling in the back. And he's going to come up and hit him with some Fayettevilles. And we're going to make short work of him. Okay, I've mounted up my cav on the far right so we can catch the supply wagon and also do something, get in position on his cav unit. Okay, we captured his wagon, but there's nothing in it, or almost nothing. So I just send it to the north. Want to get a surround on this infantry unit, but that's kind of hard to do with the cav. He wants to route. When your cav gets too close to him, he just wants to route away from them. So it's very hard to get him to stay in one place. But we've got a surround on him, and I've brought up an artillery unit to help. Okay, I've got to do something about getting ammo to my artillery that's out of ammo. We need to reload for the counterattack in the south. Now keep in mind, this battle was won a long time ago. All we're doing right now is just wiping the enemy out because we can. And the army's in good shape. I'm looking at these units there. 600, 900, 500, 500, 450. The artillery is in good shape. Have plenty of ammo. I can rest the units that are tired. I think I have 2 artillery units that are tired. Resupply everybody and get ready for the next phase. So now that all of the enemy units are being pushed to the south, and most of them are in the south right corner, now I need to kind of reposition people for an attack on the south. You want to reposition the artillery. So now I have 3 artillery facing to the south. We couldn't surround and capture his infantry, but that's okay. We were able to do him a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, he's charging right into that Fayetteville. Yeah, my 3-star infantry is going to get an opportunity to inflict some losses on these guys. So that's all good. Okay, I'm checking out these guys. These guys are resupplying up. Want to resupply them, rest them a little bit, and yeah, get ready for the next attack. If you take a look at the map, it's just, look at all the horses and cannonball indentations. The battle is going exceptionally well, and the blue bar and the red bar are about the same size. Look at those numbers fall. That infantry unit. Is he in good cover? Yeah, 74% cover, and he is just dealing damage. Yeah, I'm checking everyone. Do they have enough? Do they have enough ammo and do they have enough condition? Yes. So I move my 3-star infantry unit. I'm going to move him to the south. My artillery unit that needs ammo, I'm going to move him to the north to get resupplied. I'm going to move actually three artillery, I think, behind my infantry unit on the left side of the map and keep firing at this infantry on the left side. And then I think I have one artillery that's going to support the infantry unit on the right side. But it's the Confederate left and the Confederate right. But on the map, it's the guy on the right who is 950. I'm moving 1 or 2 artillery behind him. And then on the other side, the left side of the map, getting artillery into position. And yeah, every time he turns a little bit, I get a shot on him. So that's good. Don't think he can fire at me, but if he turns a little bit, I can fire at him, I think. So we're going to chip away at him while I get some cav around on his flank and rear. Very patiently, just chipping away. Yeah, his unit on the right is flashing white, so he's no harm at all. I'm moving my infantry unit up right next to him. He's not going to stand there very long, getting hit by a 3-star with Fayetteville's. So I have 2 cav units that are right on top of one of his artillery units. They got there a little bit sooner than I'd really planned, but my cav to the rear is going to come up and assist in just a minute. So it's all going to work out just fine, but they're a little early. Okay, there we go. We hit the first one, and now the second and third one. Yep, his artillery's either trying to move or turn or something bad for them. That's not going to work out. I'm going to dismount them and just fire as much damage as I can into them, rout them. So we're going to have a little pocket on the right side, and I take a pause to make sure my artillery is where I want it. Yeah, make sure everybody keeps moving forward. I don't care if we push these guys all into a little pocket. That would be actually a convenient way to kill them. Just want to make sure the artillery is up close. Preferably firing canister at this point. Yeah, I go ahead and mount up the 1 infantry unit that is 600 to the south, because if we can drive this guy out of the woods, we can kill him. I just want to keep an eye on condition so the guy doesn't get tired. Because if he gets tired, like if he gets to 50% condition, I can just fall back and just fire at the enemy. Yeah, make sure everybody's firing. So my 3 artillery on the left are firing at the 1 infantry unit. So that's working out. We're just grinding him down. He decides he wants to charge. And 1 blast of those Fayettevilles at close range, and I think he thought better of it. So Yep, this is perfect. So we clearly outnumber the enemy at this point, and yeah, his units are going to start shattering. Yeah, I notice at this point I have a couple of units a little low on ammo. So I brought the small unit, the 256, over to drive the enemy infantry away. So yeah, he wanted to go north for some reason. I just want to drive him off to the left. That's just, I have this pocket on the right. I want this guy to go off to the left where I can kill him at another time. The 250 can now go down and just get a 2-on-1 on this guy that's down to 270. Yeah, that's an easy kill. With 2 cav units on top of him, you get the 2-on-1 bonus, which is huge. That'll be over in a second. And then both of those units probably need to go resupply. But right now I just need the melee bonus. 190, that unit's dead. So all the support units on the right look like they're dead. He has 2 commanders in there. I need to kill those 2 guys. Why are they not dead? Okay, one of the generals is dead. As soon as the second one is dead, I need to get in there into melee, try to get a capture. Okay, I'm mounting up the cav, walking the infantry into the battle, and I think he shattered. Yeah, and the officer's dead. Okay. Okay, I gave orders for some guys to come over and get some ammo. There's no reason in rushing this. It's only 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's just... In fact, I could probably just sit here for an hour and let him, like, return, get shot to pieces, resupply my artillery, rest some units. But really, he's a sitting duck, and there's no reason to kind of draw this out. I think the guy who lost an officer, I'm just going to send him up to do a recon. There's nothing up there, but just in case. Just like I sent Stuart to the bottom right corner, just in case there was something there. Yeah, what I want with this last guy is I'd like to get this capture. So if I can get everybody on top of him and hit him with everybody at one time, maybe he'll surrender. So the thing you want to do is hit a unit from multiple sides. Um, so that's all we're trying to do. Get artillery around him, different angles, dismounted cav. But I'm going to need this infantry to get down there for the melee. Or I'm going to want them. Increase the chances of a surrender. So I've mounted up the cav. And I thought he was going to go off to the right where my infantry was. That was perfect. My other infantry's not quite in place. So I don't know which way he's going to try to go. Now it looks like he's going to the right, so just get everybody in there. He's down to 760. And he's gone. Okay. He lost 11,175. I lost 1,748. It's a good battle. It was fun. It was really fun to do. Secret is dismount the cav. That's it. Lost one officer, no units shattered. He had 12-pound howitzers, it looks like. I got some Fayettevilles out of this, almost 500 Fayettevilles. That's not nothing. He got raw recruits. He's at 53 across the board. 53, 53, 53. He will have a morale hit and a hit to his manpower pool. He should have, I guess, 100,000 men. I have, what, 120,000 men, I guess? So, yeah, that's about 40,000. I have 3 perks to play. A couple of officers I can buy. Yes to the CS Richmonds and the Fayettevilles. I don't know about the 55s. I think I'm going to spend rep. I have 96 rep. I think I'm going to spend it on the manpower. You don't get very much, and it's really expensive. It's like 40 rep, but I think you get 25 back at Gettysburg, so not a big deal. I think it's only 4,000 men, but I'll take it. Okay, that was a fun little battle in anticipation of Gettysburg. I hope you enjoyed that. It was it might, you might think it's a bit grindy. It takes a while, but it is fun. And if you're patient and you don't mind it, you can kill all of them, come out of it with some Fayettevilles, I guess, and some crappy weapons to sell, and be ready for the next battle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.